for $21,900. We're also going to pay all the closing fees, basically the closing costs, all the recording fees and transfer fees to move that property in that land trust to you, from us to you. Okay? Then we're going to pay, here's a big one, pay all the past due taxes, liens, levies, judgments, and utilities. All the past due taxes, liens, levies, judgments, and utilities. Because remember, these things have fuzz on them. We can win this by sheer volume, by the averages. We sell so many of these. Some of these have $100 in taxes. Some have no taxes. Some have $10,000 in taxes. So if you're doing that individually and you are buying houses, you have to be aware of that. Here, we're going to take care of all those for you, all for $21,900. Also, we're going to do the home inspection like we talked about. We're going to pull that preliminary title. We're going to secure the property, place a for sale sign, a lot box on it, 21-point home inspection, interior and exterior photos. We're going to place all that information on My Place, our website. So now we've got this home inspection done just like we're doing it for us. We're doing it for every one of the properties we buy. All that's included in $21,900. Now here's where it really gets good. Once we've done that, we place that for sale sign on that property, those individuals are going to start to call in off that sign. You don't have to take any of those calls. We're going to answer every one of those phone calls for you. We have over 200 now telephone numbers that are local numbers all across the country that we use. All of those local numbers ring to our office in Hickory, North Carolina. So our salespeople are answering the phone, and that person's looking at a very nice, non-threatening sign for sale with a local telephone number. So they think they're calling the guy down the street, and they're actually ringing to Hickory, North Carolina. We don't give that away. Our guys are very good, and they just try to put those people in those homes. So we're going to take every one of those sales calls for you, all for $21,900. We're also going to not charge you any additional commission when we sell that home for you under an RTO sale, under an RTO contract. Remember the example I gave you, say $1,000 down, $500 a month. Under that example, you're going to pay no additional fees when we sell that property for you. It's all included in $21,900. Remember, there's two ways to sell them, though. The other way is cash. If we sell it as a cash price, you will be charged an additional 10% on that cash price. I do not make a dime of that. I give it all straight and directly to my end salespeople. Now, here's the question. If my salespeople can talk someone and selling that house for you or me for $50,000, would you give them $5,000? That's the question. I hope so. Okay, right. That's the answer we're looking for. So yes, we incentivize them 10% cash on all cash deals because we want them to get that price up as high as they can. The way to do that is incentivize the sales team. They're going to try to get as much as they possibly can on cash deals. So, but if it's an RTO, no additional cost, $21,900. Now the mortgage evaluation comes a couple days later. Once they've moved in under the rent-to-own contract, our mortgage department's going to call them. At no additional cost to you, it's all included, but our mortgage department's going to call them and say, would you like to try to get approved for a mortgage so that you can buy this home? If a person has a $400 a month, I know this one, if they have a $400 a month payment on a rent-to-own, and they get approved today with an FHA loan, their payment's about $320 a month. It goes down $80 a month. So they have a financial benefit to get that mortgage permanently. Our mortgage department calls them and says, would you be interested in getting that loan, which gives you a financial benefit, and gets that home into your name, and close that deal out at no cost to you, and I'll go ahead and pull your credit out at no cost. And here's the other kicker. The owner of the property will pay all your closing costs to get you there. Now let me say it a different way. If a person cashes out $60,000, would you pay $3,000 in closing costs for them? That's the answer to that one. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you get a $60,000 check. Do you give up a $3,000 check? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to pay those closing costs. I do it. You do it. We're going to pay all those closing costs to try to get them to that cash out point. So that all is included in that $21,900 price. Now, if they don't get approved right away, what's the number one reason? Credit. So in this $21,900 sales price to you, we are prepaying for your end users and my end users, but your end users, credit to be repaired. So our credit repair company is going to contact them, and actually we do it right at the same time as we do rent-to-owns now. At the same time we sign the documentation, we enroll them in credit repair. We're going to get their score above 620 so we can help to get them into that loan. Because we want to cash out, right? Isn't that the goal?
Yeah.
We want to cash out. So we want to cash out. So 21.9 gets you every one of those services, and you also get a house and some land with it. I didn't mention that. So you get some houses, some land, and all the services. All right.
Rusty?
Yes.
I don't know if you're going to address it. What happens if they don't perform at the end of the contract?
Let me get through.
Okay.
So, now here's some other things. Here's another benefit. I want you to start to think for the next few minutes, like we talked about in the beginning, about being the bank. You know how the Federal Reserve gives banks basically a license to print money out of thin air with mortgages, right? So they have an opportunity to print money, and so it's good to be a bank. Would you agree? Let me ask you this question. If you could be a bank or own a piece of real estate, which one would you rather be?
Bank.
Okay, now, really? Okay, stay with me, because you hardcore real estate folks are going to get lost right here. You're going to think it's better to have a house. Is it better to not have the mortgage on the house or have the house? Okay, I got 3 words for you if you don't get it yet. Truth in lending. Look at one. You want to be the guy that gets 3 times that amount for the piece of paper, or do you want to be involved in a little deal and make the 2 or 3 points? Has anybody ever seen that? Truth in lending, you borrow $100 grand, you pay back $298,000. You go, oh my goodness. That's what banks make. 200 or 300%. Now, is it better to be a bank, or is it better to be in a real estate transaction? Bank. Okay, so we've already determined that value is worth what someone will pay you for it. Right? That's the first thing you got to get around. And then the other thing is, it's better to be a bank than it is to be in real estate. Let me show you some of the benefits. Number 1, if you are the bank, the end user, the person living in your house that you have a mortgage on, basically, they're going to do all the improvements to your property, aren't you? Okay, let me say it a different way. Anybody here got a mortgage on their house? You got a mortgage on your property? You want to add a deck to your backyard. You go to your back of your house. You go home and call your bank. I really think a deck would look good out here. If you guys do that, send somebody out and go ahead and write a check for that. Do they do that? No. Why do they do that? They say, no, right? We don't do that. So the end users make all the improvements to your property. Let me say it a different way. One of your windows goes bad, or a hole gets punched in your wall. You call your bank and go, hey, your mortgage company, hey, you need to get out here and fix that. There's a hole in the wall. And, yeah, do you do that? No. So the end user makes all the improvements to your property. Okay? So that's one of the benefits to being a bank over being a person involved in real estate. Pride of ownership is another reason why this is a great opportunity to be in the bank. In our system, it equals a very low default rate. People are going to move in, and they don't want to move out. Do you believe that? You see what I'm saying? They've already got the furniture in there. They're already living there. They're already paying. So they got pride of ownership. They don't want to leave. That's their house. Just like you don't want to leave your house. So you're going to try to appease your mortgage company so that you don't have to leave your house. Same thing with these individuals. Also, if you're the investor, the bank that owns the house, then no repairs or maintenance are paid by you. The other thing is, guys, you go home and your heat pumps, or your air conditioner, that's a better way to say it here. If your air conditioner is out, you call your mortgage company and say, hey, your heat pump's out, the air conditioner's gone, you need to send someone out to fix that. You don't send someone out to fix that, right? Now, who owns the house, you or the bank?
Bank.
That's a tricky question, isn't it?
Bank.
Actually, you do, right? Because you're on title, but you don't make a payment, and they'll show you exactly who owns it, right? Okay, same thing with this. They own it, right? They do all this, but just let them not make a payment, and you'll show them exactly who owns it. Is that correct? Same thing. Better to be the bank. No taxes or insurance paid by you. Boy, this is a hard one. Sometimes real estate people have a hard time with. So let me say it a different way. When you go home and you get your tax bill at the end of the year, you call your mortgage company and go, hey, you got taxes due? Or don't every month or whenever you escrow in your taxes and insurance, your taxes, you send it in, and that you're responsible for paying on your piece of property, not your mortgage company. So the taxes and insurance are not paid by you, they're paid by the end user. The property is occupied. That's a huge thing. If you're a bank, you want the property occupied. Do you believe it? If you're in real estate, you're going to wait and try to get the most and try to do this, you're going to do all these things and try to figure it out. If you're a bank and you got a house that's empty, what do you want it? Full. You want someone in it. That's the key, is getting someone to occupy the property. So thinking like a bank, you get the property occupied. You get someone in there, that's a big benefit if you're a bank, if the property's occupied. Also, referrals come from that. when these houses are sold,